Hello, I'm doing a review of the Subzero Lavalier condenser microphone plugged into my H2 Essentials sound recorder. Now for video, I like to edit the sound channel, so I like a separate sound channel or channels, whichever, several channels sometimes, and I like to edit them before the video actually goes out. So this is the reason why I really want to work with this microphone plugged into my H2 Essential sound recorder. Now, one thing you want to test with a Lavalier microphone is what it is like in noisy environments. So what I did for that, to test that, I put some loudish music on and recorded from the Lavalier mic my speech, but also I left the front mic of the H2 Essentials sound recorder on to get a stereo track of the loud music, and then I mixed the two together, so the Lavalier microphone was nearly all speech and very quiet music, and so obviously it had suppressed the background sound, but I mixed it with the stereo track from the front sound recorder to test how clear the voice was when there was a lot of background around, you know. So I made it more difficult for the voice to be heard, but in fact the voice was still very clear with both soundtracks mixed. Anyway, the other thing about this microphone, it does take a sound pressure of 136 decibels. Now the sound recorder doesn't take anything like that, but of course with the Lavalier mics you are much closer to the mic, and if you are in a noisy environment there is a tendency to shout, so therefore this kind of mic can sometimes need to have more scope at the higher sound pressure levels, because it's got both the background noise and your voice combined. So you know, it's a good thing to have quite a high level if you're gonna ever work in a noisy environment. So obviously this is just straight into the sound recorder. I'll stop rattling this this piece of plastic. So what I want to just show you is I have I didn't buy a wireless one because I already have some wireless. So I have these two, transmitter and receivers, and they're UHF ones, and they're quite good and they're not noisy. Well, as long as you don't have much in the way of other signals around, that is, but there isn't here anyway. But on the transmitter, you can see, let's just put it there, you have both a mic input and an auxiliary input. So if you want, you could plug the output of the sound recorder into the auxiliary output, and you know, use that live into whatever device you're streaming live. And on the receiver you have both a headphone output and an output to go into whatever you're recording live from. So that also can do that, and of course you can monitor with the headphone output if you want. Anyway, I don't know how much in focus they were. Now the only other thing I really wanted to demonstrate was the difference, because I analysed the signal from what I had recorded yesterday, and what I quite like is the bass response of this microphone. Some of the other Lavalier mics and the £5 one that I used to have that fell apart didn't have such a good bass response, and so I upgraded to this one, and I quite like the spectrum of the sound that comes directly out of the microphone, but you can obviously modify it, and also you can add your own compression. Now, when I did it, I added what is called lead vocal compression. That's a preset anyway, so and that's what I'm going to do with this. So now I'm talking into this microphone, but also to the camera sound as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop talking here and now just talk with the camera sound. This is the camera sound. Now I'm back to my microphone, and so you can hear the difference between the two. And I think if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and thanks for watching.